It's disgusting, but I'm not surprised. Because this is what Trump does. This is what he thinks. This is what his followers think.
There's nothing else to talk about. The debate's over. The whole I didn't vote for, he's not racist, I'm not a racist because I voted for him, that's over. That conversation ends here now. I'd love to see the excuses.
They blame that shit on a White House staffer, y'all. They said Wigs R Us did not post that shit. They blamed it on a White House staffer. You must think we stupid or something. Because there are a lot of things Wigs R Us can't do on his own like wipe. But he damn sure can use them big ass fat fingers to post shit. He does it all through the night. You not finna blame that on a White House staffer when Caroline No Lip Living Having Ass Levitt posted this shit. She admitted that Wigs R Us posted that fucking video and told us it was the depiction of Wigs R Us being the king of the jungle and all the Democrats being goddamn animals. So that makes it okay for you to make Michelle and Barack monkeys? And told us to move on to something more important, that we were making it a big deal. How far are we gonna let that shit go? Like, at this point, when is enough enough? There was a time that if you did this type of shit, your career would be over. So if we can't get him on this, let's get him on them fucking files. Because it seems like other countries are holding their people accountable. Why the fuck aren't we?
The idea that anyone would post a video like that, let alone the President of the United States, someone who's supposed to find ways to bring us together, someone who's supposed to appeal to our better angels, this guy seems to always find a lower and lower common denominator. Here in Pennsylvania, we respect all people, no matter what they look like, where they come from, who they love, who they pray to, who they choose not to pray to. We don't scapegoat others, and we certainly don't peddle in racist videos and other racist statements like this president has made. He needs to do better.
And so Donald Trump has done it again. And before anyone says this, that, or the other, before anyone comes out and, gives an excuse, because the White House tried to cover him up, giving an excuse that it wasn't him, it was someone else. Let's stop pretending. We know Donald Trump. This is him. This has always been him. A racist depiction of the Obamas hits the timeline. Americans are outraged. And suddenly everyone is shocked, as if this is not the same man who has been telling us over and over who he really is, But really, my focus here is actually the timing, because this moment feels useful for Donald Trump. It's almost convenient. He really knew what he was doing, and he had to do it at this time. So let's just watch some of the reactions of Americans towards this, and we'll try to really, analyze why the timing of this was very important for Donald Trump at this moment.
As if we needed more confirmation that Donald Trump is nothing more than a racist, misogynist pig. His latest Truth Social drop really hits home. It is the 5th day of Black History Month in 2026, and our president takes it upon himself to post questionably one of the more openly disgusting racist things I have ever seen in my fucking life. Now, I'm not going to give it the credit of even posting it on here, but I will say it is a picture of former President Barack Obama and his wife dressed as monkeys. Now, I'm sure that's great for the racist Republicans out there, but really it just hits home that this man is not fit for this position of power. The most powerful, questionably the most powerful man on the planet. And he uses his time to just post openly, disgustingly racist things.
Donald Trump's latest stunt, where he reposted a social media meme that depicts Michelle and Barack Obama as primates, may seem like more of the racist vitriol that we've become accustomed to, but in many respects, it's just as much an admission of who he has been the entire time. And we have known this for decades, whether it was the Central Park Five, all the way to false claims against Haitians in Ohio, allegedly eating cats and dogs. This has been someone who has thrived on xenophobia, racism, and bigotry. And for as vile as it is, in this moment, what matters most is our response. Condemning what the president has decided to do as okay is what matters most, not only from the American public, but also from American politicians. It does not matter whether this is a distraction technique to get away from January being the worst job numbers that we've seen in 17 years. And it also doesn't matter whether it's a distraction technique to perhaps get away from some of the accusations and speculation that have surfaced since the latest Epstein dump. This is the president of the United States who has essentially now given permission for bigotry and vile racism to come from American citizens because, hey, he does it on his own social media. This is psychological racialized violence, and make no mistake about calling it out. If you are someone who believes in tempering down the temperature and the tenor of American political dialogue, then you have to speak out in this moment. And that goes just as much for elected officials as it does anyone else. Tim Scott said that he hoped that it was fake because if not, it was the most racist thing he had seen from this administration, which inherently implies that he is used to seeing other racist things coming from this administration. Normalizing this in this moment is wrong. At any moment is wrong, especially from the president of the United States of America. And the only thing worse than any of this is the actual response from the administration. Caroline Levick trotted out a statement where she basically said that, oh, this was a meme that depicted Donald Trump as the king of the jungle, and stop with the stop, full stop. You are not going to gaslight us into believing what we have seen with our very eyes. The notion that you would, as the leader of the free world, put out a meme or recycle a meme that depicts another previous leader who happens to be a black person as a primate, as a monkey, is simply unacceptable. And that needs to be all of us who are calling that out and not normalizing this.
Can we not waste time sitting around acting surprised that Trump posted a video of the Obamas' heads on gorilla bodies? Can we not act shocked that he did that? Because it's not shocking at all. He posted that on his Truth Social after telling us all that it's time we move on from the Epstein files. That's why he posted it. He does not want us talking about the Epstein files. And also, he posted it because he wants us all in comment sections and standing around the cooler at work today talking about and debating whether or not the Obamas and Black Americans are in 2026. He wants to take us to that age-old debate that I thought we left behind in 1912, which I'm fully aware as somebody who was raised in deep red East Texas, that debate has been going on ever since, all the way up to this point. But not because that conversation was initiated by the President of the United States. So let's not be shocked that he did this. It is very on brand for him to want to turn our attention away from the fact that he's in the files over 30,000 times.
Trump just keeps making this worse and worse. He admitted he saw the video of Barack and Michelle Obama depicted as apes and didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And furthermore, he will not apologize for having it posted. Well, here we are. Is anyone really surprised? He said this on Air Force One to a group of reporters who asked him about the post, and rightly so. He said that, yes, he saw it and he didn't see anything wrong with depicting Barack Obama, former president of the United States, and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes, a stereotypically racist trope used against Black people for centuries. He said that his staffer that did post it will not be fired. Shocking again. So again, they're telling us exactly who they are. Is Donald Trump digging the hole deeper? Yes. Will Republicans actually do anything about it? Probably not. Let's face it. We are in the upside down. But hey, Trump just admitted on camera he is in fact that racist uncle.
At this point, it's giving obsessed. And If you want to know what I'm talking about, stay tuned. So at this point, we are all well aware of President Trump's Truth Social post about the Obamas yet again during Black History Month. And it's really not giving political anymore. It's more like obsessive. Barack Obama has been out of the office for years, and yet President Trump keeps circling his name like he's stuck in 2009. That is not a coincidence. That's fixation. You see, Obama represents everything racists in America hate but can't deny. A black man was elected twice with no scandals, who's highly educated, who's also globally respected, is a faithful husband with a stable family, who's calm, articulate, and professionally unbothered. And that alone was enough to break white people. So let's talk about facts. Under Obama, the economy recovered from a 2008 crash. Unemployment dropped to historic lows. Millions gained health care through the Affordable Care Act. The auto industry was saved, student loan access expanded, and America's global reputation had improved. Yet notice how President Trump never critiques his policies. He always attacks his personhood. Because the issue was never what Obama did. The issue was that he did this while being black. That same obsession gets projected onto black people in America every single day. Despite all of the redlining, mass incarcerations, voter suppression, underfunded schools, and employment discrimination, so on and so forth, black Americans continue to build wealth, create culture, lead movements, innovate industries, and redefine success on our own terms. That kind of success is threatening to people whose identity depends on being above someone else. So when Trump brings up the Obamas during Black History Month, it's not accidental. It's just resentment. America chose a black family over him twice, and no true social rent will ever change that. Obama lives rent-free in this man's mind.
When you saw this meme that they posted this morning or overnight, Representative, what were your thoughts?
This isn't a shock for me, right? Like, people are more prone to try to police my speech than they are to policing the actions of this administration. And I'm gonna be real with you, Don, as somebody that serves on the oversight committee. You know, we know that yesterday he said, stop talking about the Epstein files, stop talking about the Epstein files, stop talking about the Epstein files. And guess what? He is the king of distraction, and he knows how to get us talking about something other than the Epstein files. Is it new that he's racist? Absolutely not. It is not new. This is not new. This is actually on brand for him. So for him, he doesn't care, right? Like, he doesn't care if people call him racist. But what he does care about is more of those files coming out, people having more time to pour through them, people realizing that the government messed up on certain redactions, that kind of stuff.
The president of the United States is rage baiting us. That's what's happening. Don't fall for it, honey. That's all.
It's okay, everyone. It was a staffer that posted that video of the Obamas. It was a staffer. And you know what? Caroline Leavitt already knew that when she was defending it this morning, saying that it was a clip from a parody of The Lion King where the Democrats were supposed to be characters. I guess I just must have missed that scene in The Lion King where the gorillas show up. She was simply defending Donald Trump's right to post a parody video. But of course, Donald Trump would never do such a thing. It was obviously a staffer that posted that erroneous video. I mean, it definitely wasn't the president that posted that video during Black History Month to distract everyone from the fact that he's in the Epstein files over 30,000 times. Certainly not. So we can all stop talking about it now, actually. You know, I guess now that we don't have to talk about that anymore, we can go back to talking about the Epstein files. Cool.
Even Fox News felt the need to press Trump's White House press secretary about the president's response to all of this.
It's not just Democrats. There are Republican senators, Pete Ricketts, others saying, look, we understand it was us, but the president should just come out and apologize for it and say, look, this was a mistake. Sorry if it offended anyone. Why not?
Well, look, I won't get ahead of the president, Laura, and he may be speaking with the press later today.
Okay. She doesn't want to get ahead of the president. Well, moments later, Trump had the opportunity to apologize. And this is what he said.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake.
What mistake? You didn't make a mistake. The president also claimed he simply did not see the racist part of that video before it was posted in his name. Folks, I don't know about you. I don't believe him. Remember, Trump left that post up for 12 hours. The White House even defended it as a harmless parody of The Lion King. They knew, and so did he. And look, it's all profoundly disheartening. There's no doubt about that. Not that Trump posted it, but that he thought he could post it in an America that would accept it. Folks, that says everything about where this man thinks America is and what he thinks especially about black men and women.
As a South Carolinian, I feel like I need to say something about Tim Scott's tweet this morning, kind of condemning the Trump post showing the faces of Michelle and Barack Obama on the body of primates. First of all, he knows it's not fake, right? He knows that. And the second part about this being the most racist thing to come out of the White House, I mean, there's so many things to draw from. Who can say what is or is not the most racist thing that has come out of the Trump White House? And I just accept I'm going to get yelled at by both sides, but I think Tim Scott's probably a decent human being. He tried to correct some of the injustices against the African-American community with respect to law enforcement and imprisonment during the first Trump administration. And for that, he should be commended. But let's call a spade, Tim. This was a racist post. Hard stop. No really room to negotiate that. It was racist. And not only is it racist, as one commentator I saw today posted, in the way he portrays Biden, and certainly in the way he portrays the Obamas, it cheapens the integrity of the office of the president. And that's not something that any of us benefit from, no matter what side of the aisle we're on. And I think we're all more than familiar with the idea that all it takes for evil to persist is for good people to do nothing. And we need stronger messaging than "we hope it was fake" when we know it wasn't.
Hey friends, happy Friday. So do you all remember when Michelle Obama said, "When they go low, we go high"? Y'all remember when she said that? Well, it has been almost a decade. This year, July 25th, 2026, will mark a decade, 10 years, since she gave us the famous line, "When they go low, we go high," a comment that she made at the Democratic National Convention when she was endorsing Hillary Clinton. So the comment still stands at such a time as this, and that was all I could think about in the wake of us all discovering when we woke up this morning that President Trump once again used his Truth social media account to post something blatantly racist and disrespectful. Michelle already told us almost 10 years ago, when they go low, we go high, right? And I wrote a little something. Want to hear? Here it goes. On July 25th, 2016, Michelle Obama famously said, "When they go low, we go high." And admittedly, I didn't love that because truth is, as a Capricorn, if you go low with me, I will meet you in hell. Yet the problem is those who go low, as we have seen this administration go, are morally bankrupt, desensitized, and beyond the pale. They are what we are not. They go low, but we do not because we are higher. Michelle was right. We go high, but not as a destination we travel to. We go because it's our fundamental state of being as people to be high. And when I say our fundamental state of being as people to be high, right now I'm talking about Black folk. Because, you know, history repeats itself. And one thing white and Eurocentric people love to do is make a mockery of us, create a caricature of us where we are apes and gorillas. History is merely repeating itself. But our fundamental state of being as people is to be high, is to have a high posture, right? So let's continue to be high, right? As high as the over-the-knee Balenciaga boots that Michelle Obama wore on one of the nights of her Becoming book tour. As high as the top 10 charts the Becoming documentary keeps climbing on Netflix. We are hoping for top 2 and not number 2. As high as someone sparking a doobie in a box Chevy. As high as Mount Kilimanjaro, as high as the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee, Florida, otherwise known as Florida A&M University, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, my alma mater. High like the refrain in Jada, moi, Jada Kiss's Good Times. So high that all is necessary is to give those people that judgmental stare down, like Miranda Priestley did to Andrea before Andrea fixed her life. Really, friends, all we need to do right now is let God sort them out and take care of one another. Because what did I say a couple of weeks ago when that man changed the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center? What did I tell you then? What did the Bible tell us? Pride goeth before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall. Pride goeth before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall.
See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
All right, so I was listening to these reactions, and you'd think that according to how some people are arguing, some Americans, you think that Trump discovered racism the other day, or they discovered Trump the other day. But let's be serious. This is the same Trump who called for the execution of the Central Park Five, the same Trump who labeled entire countries as shithole countries, and the same Trump who treats black success like a personal insult to him. And the Obamas aren't a random target. For him, they are a threat. They are a reminder that everything Trump promised, respect, legacy, history, already belong to someone else, and he can never match the Obamas in anything. And of course, that makes him jealous, and that eats him up. And he has to always find a way of trying to drag the Obamas and Obama, former president, into the mud. So, but that's actually not the point of it all, really. That's just his insecurity and his jealousy. Now, here is where it gets a little uncomfortable. Trump doesn't just offend people. He farms reaction. He farms the reaction of people because he knows that anger creates headlines and headlines create noise. And noise is the perfect cover when you don't want people asking the real questions. And we know what the real questions are here and what he's trying to take cover from. Black people once again becomes the emotional lightning rod, the distraction. Not because Trump hates chaos, because he needs chaos, especially at this time. So let's talk about the timing, because timing tells a story, or timing tells stories. While people are arguing over this racist image, then certainly people are distracted from talking about the broken promises and his failures since he came to power once again, and the broken promises, the betrayals, and the fact that his own base, his own MAGA supporters are starting to feel played, betrayed, and they have been coming out to openly call out the Donald Trump, and others have been defecting and saying they made a mistake and they're embarrassed. And we've had that. And even more interesting now at this moment is that he's trying to deflect attention from the Epstein files, and because his name has been floating way too close to the conversation, and it seems he can't just get himself out of it. So maybe this was the right time for him to throw this racist stunt, So he could get people to start talking about something else. He could create some headline, and the headlines could then create some more noise, and people could get distracted. So racism works like a magic trick, especially in American politics. You look over here while everything else quietly slips out of focus, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. So no, this is not about even the picture itself, because there is nothing that really anybody can say to help the situation. This is Donald Trump. This is not his first time, and certainly not his last time doing this. It's about power. And most importantly, it's about distraction from everything he's doing and everything he's failing in. And it's also about control, image control, trying to control the people, trying to shift focus of the people. It's really about that. So really, Trump is just showing us who he is again and again. And the real question left here is, why are people acting surprised? Why can't people see through the theatrics? Yeah. So really, that's my take on it. Do share with me what you think about this in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.